What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about dropshipping. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So here on this channel, I talk a lot about different ways to make money online. Primarily, we focus on dropshipping to different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Now, the beauty with that is that when you sell on those marketplaces, you don't have to worry about driving any traffic to your own website, paying for ads, anything like that, because the marketplace takes care of all of that for you. So dropshipping on these marketplaces is extremely beginner friendly. And so that's why I try to teach as much about that on this channel as possible. So I do this every Tuesday around 4 p.m. Eastern time. I sit down, answer as many of these questions that you guys have about dropshipping or different ways I teach how to make money online here on this channel. I also talk a lot about cryptocurrency and different ways to trade with that as well, but it's primarily dropshipping. So this kind of time is just for me to answer any questions that you guys have. So come join us for a live stream, ask your question in the live chat, and I will do my best to get through as many of these questions as possible for you guys. So we'll get through all those and have some announcements for all of you. So let's jump into the first question right here. We have JKV here saying, can I start dropshipping with $0 or do I need to have at least some money? Yeah, so it's very hard to start with absolutely no money. One of the great things about selling on these marketplaces, like I said, like eBay, like Facebook Marketplace, is that, again, you don't have to build a website, which normally costs money. You don't have to pay for ads, which normally costs a lot of money. You're going where the customers already are. They're already on eBay. They're already on Facebook Marketplace. So that alone is going to save you a ton of time and aggravation and money as well. The other component of this is the dropshipping component, because dropshipping is a lower cost to get started than any other e-commerce business model out there. So traditionally, with most e-commerce businesses, you have to go out and source the inventory, whether you go to a local store and buy some items up, or you find a wholesale supplier and buy a lot of them, or buy them from China. And that, is going to involve a lot of money to buy that initial inventory. But with dropshipping, it flips the entire thing on its head. So we sell products like on Facebook Marketplace. Once they sell, then we buy them from our supplier. And then the supplier will ship the item directly to our customer. So as you see, the costs are very, very low. We don't have to buy the inventory up front. We don't have to pay for postage or boxes or packing tape or anything like that. No websites, no design for websites, no domain names, none of that stuff, no ads as well. The only thing you really need some money for to get started, you're going to be using some software to run your dropshipping business. It's going to cost you some money every month. That figure about $30 a month to run that. And when someone buys the item from you, you don't get that money right away. You're going to need a credit card to fulfill the order. In other words, to buy the item from your supplier. Supplier ships it to the customer. Then the marketplace will release the money to you, and you can use that money to pay off your credit card and keep the rest as profit. So really, you're looking at about $30 a month for the software. And then if you have a good credit card with a couple $1,000s in credit on there, you're going to be fine. If you don't have a credit card, you can do it with a debit card. You'll just need, a few $100s in order to kind of, front the money for the items until it's released to you by the marketplace. But that's pretty much it. I wouldn't say you can exactly do it with $0, but you can get pretty close. And compared to most other e-commerce businesses where you have to spend thousands of dollars upfront on inventory and storing that inventory, this is much, much lower cost to get started. And because you're not putting as much money behind it, there's less risk there as well. So it's very beginner friendly. You can kind of go into and kind of tiptoe your way into it a little bit without making such a huge upfront investment into the entire process. Number 2 on the like. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, we're getting close to 90,000 subscribers here on this channel. I would love to hit that benchmark or that milestone soon, and then we'll just be in the home stretch to 100,000. Good evening, Germany. What is up? All right. JKV has another question saying, If a product gets sold out before a customer buys it on your page, and you can't find the same product anywhere else, how are you able to pay the customer back? All right, so let me unpack that a little bit. I think what you're saying is, what happens if someone buys the item from you, like on Facebook Marketplace, and then you go to buy it from your supplier, but now the supplier is out of stock? So first of all, that shouldn't happen that often. Normally, we're using software that will help us out with this. So if an item, let's say we listed an item from Walmart, we found an item on Walmart and we listed it for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Now, if after we've done that, let's say Walmart suddenly goes out of stock, you'll be notified about that so that you can mark the item as out of stock on Facebook yourself, and you won't sell an item that's out of stock. So this is going to happen rarely. The software will catch that and let you know, and then you could change it on Facebook. So make sure you're using software that does that. I use AutoDS, which does that for me. And that's going to save you a ton of headache. That's why I said, we're going to use software to run this business, about $30 a month. It is well worth it to save yourself this headache, this hassle. You don't have to constantly check Walmart. Let's say you have 50 items listed. You would have to check all 50 items every day, if not twice a day, on Walmart to see if the price changed or it went out of stock. You no longer have to do that because the software does that for you. You can just concentrate on adding more items and then updating prices and stock levels as AutoDS catches them, the software catches them. So this shouldn't happen that often. Does it still happen? Yes. One, because the software is not perfect. Also, let's say someone buys the item from you and then it goes out of stock really quickly after that before you get a chance to fulfill the order. So when the orders come in on Facebook or eBay, you'll then have to go and place the order from your supplier or have a virtual assistant place the order for you from your supplier. And if you wait too long to do that between the order on Facebook and actually buying the item, then it might go out of stock in that period. So to prevent that from happening, just place your orders more frequently, more earlier. But again, it can still happen where you go to fulfill the order and it's out of stock. So the first thing I would do is try to find the item on another website from another supplier. Many times you can find the same thing. Even if I end up losing a little bit of money because it's a little bit more expensive, I'll do that just to save the sale. The second thing I'll do, if that doesn't work, I'll contact the supplier. Let's say it's Walmart and say, hey, when is this going to be back in stock? Is this going to be back in stock soon? And then I'll kind of gauge it from there. If they say, yeah, it's going to be back in stock tomorrow, then okay, it's okay to wait a day. If they say they don't know, it could take a week, then I might not wait any longer. So the next thing I'll do is I'll contact the customer and say, hey, something happened with this item. We can send you a different one that's very, very similar. Here's a picture of it. Do you want this one instead? And especially on Facebook Marketplace, many customers will say yes. Many customers are fine with that. So that's kind of the step-by-step process that we go through when an item actually is out of stock. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a sickness as well, so my throat's still a little bit scratchy. 2 minutes until start. We're in it now, Paul. Okay. All right. Ecom Biz says, hey, Paul, on Facebook, the customer asked for a return. I gave them a return label, but instead of returning the item, the customer filed a chargeback. What do I do now? So you've done pretty much everything that you can do with these chargebacks. If you don't know what a chargeback is, it's basically where a customer ordered an item from you and with their credit card, obviously it's online, and then they contact their credit card company to say that there was a problem with the order, they never got the item, something like that, and then the credit card company refunds them and pulls the money from you, basically. It doesn't happen that often, but it's really annoying when it does happen. So ordinarily, if you were selling directly to the customer, then the credit card chargeback would go directly to you. But because you're selling through Facebook, Facebook actually gets the chargeback and they pass it along to you. In other words, they take money from your account to cover the cost of the chargeback. So you need to give Facebook as much information as you can to cover rebut the chargeback, because just because a chargeback happens, you have the ability to fight them. So Facebook will fight the chargeback, and you have to give them all the information that they can use to fight that chargeback. So make sure you have a tracking number uploaded, make sure you've been communicating with the buyer and given them any return labels they asked for. Even send them another message, just kind of summing everything up, right? Telling them, hey, you ordered this, here's a tracking number, you said it was delivered, you acknowledge that you received it, you asked for a return, and I gave you the label, here it is again. Just so it's all in writing right there. You've given them as much as you can do, and sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose them. It's kind of just the way it is. Omar says, I love eBay because it's a low-hanging fruit business model. Yeah, I mean, it's just so beginner-friendly getting started on eBay. I think Facebook Marketplace is very beginner-friendly as well. You could just jump right into it. You don't need a ton of experience or really a ton of knowledge on how all this works. And then you can just kind of jump in and then do really well with it, because you don't need, again, a ton of experience or a ton of money up front in order to get the businesses up and running. All right, Paul says, good evening, Paul. I've been looking into the DSM tool. I would love to know how you find the software. Excuse me. Is the listing process easy, and what do you think about the templates? Yeah, so DSM tool is another one of those tools, that software that you can use to help you list items onto eBay and reprice and restock them. I used to use DSM tool. I haven't used them in years. I've been using AutoDS and really enjoying that one. So AutoDS is one that I use and recommend personally. I have my affiliate link to them in the description of this video if you want to use that. But yeah, DSM tool, last time I used it, it was nice. It worked great. The listing process is very easy. Same thing with AutoDS. And what do I think about the templates? Yeah, so all this software like AutoDS, DSM tool, they have these templates that you can use so that when you list an item, it has this nice looking template that makes the description look nice. I used to love these, but I've actually stopped using them about a year ago because I found that my listings that didn't use templates, that were more plain text, were doing better. And I don't know if that's because they're easier to search, like eBay looks through them to look for keywords. I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but I've stopped using the templates and I just use plain text. And I've seen that actually help my sales. Midas says, any tips to recover a disabled Facebook account? I don't have a ton of experience with this, to be honest. Oh, he says, not Marketplace, by the way, like the entire Facebook account. Like I can't access it anymore. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, when you start selling on Facebook Marketplace, all you need is a Facebook account. If you already have a Facebook account, open it up on your phone and you'll see right at the top, let me pull it up open so I can walk you through this. Right at the bottom, rather, right in the middle, there's an icon that says Marketplace, okay? And if you click on that, you'll be able to gain instant access to Facebook Marketplace right there. So anyone has access to Facebook Marketplace, you can jump in there and start buying stuff, and you can jump in there and start listing up items for sale. Now, if you want to do drop shipping, there are a few extra steps involved, but you do, at least right now, have access to Facebook Marketplace directly. The only way you would not have access to Facebook Marketplace is if you lose your entire Facebook account. The entire thing is disabled. Now, I don't have experience with this, and that's because this is extremely rare. I actually haven't encountered anyone who's had this happen to them. So I don't know what the reasoning is behind your Facebook account being disabled. That's something that you'd probably have to appeal and look into yourself. Because like I said, this is very rare, and I've never actually seen it happen. And do you love earning a full-time living? Yeah, so so I've been full-time, I quit my job, when was that? 2018. So it's been many years now since I've last had a job. And And, it's just kind of a crazy, crazy experiences since then, being able to travel the world, living in a van to travel around, living in whatever state I want to live in, not feeling tied down because of where I work. It's really, really incredible just having that freedom, being able to make my money online, which gives me just the luxury, the freedom to go wherever I want to go and live wherever I want to live. And I'm my own boss, so I work my own hours. During the winter, I was skiing a lot, so I'd ski during the week when no one else skied and work on the weekends so that when everyone else was making the ski slopes crowded and all that kind of stuff. So it's just really cool. I enjoyed a lot working for myself and making money online. Shay says, can you sell old viral products that were viral a few weeks ago? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. I think you are talking about Shopify. I am not a Shopify seller. I don't sell on Shopify for the reasons I stated at the start of the video, right? I don't want to, when you sell on Shopify, you have to build your own website. That's what it is. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. I've tried it before. I've tried paying for ads to get people to visit my website. Too much work for something that might not work. I instead sell on Facebook. I instead sell on eBay. I've sold on Amazon before because that's where the customers already are. Let's make this easier for ourselves. Let's go where they already are and eliminate one of the hardest parts about an e-commerce business, building a website, and even harder, the marketing behind it. The paid ads, the Facebook ads, the TikTok ads, the influencer marketing. All that stuff is without a doubt the hardest part about selling physical products online, and I never have to worry about that. And you don't either if you start marketplace dropshipping, selling on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, where there's already a ton of customers. So just make your life easier. If you have a dream of owning a Shopify store, then go for it. My recommendation, though, would be to start with dropshipping on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Use that to build up capital and then take your capital and your experience and apply it to Shopify. I've seen so many people do that and build fantastic brands, but they've all told me the same thing, which is that when they first tried, they jumped right into Shopify and failed. But then they learned a lot through the process of dropshipping on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and even Amazon in the past, gained money, gained experience and confidence that they could then apply to Shopify. And, and then they have a lot more confidence there and we're able to actually make it work. But the stepping stone to that is something like eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How you been? Lista says, hi, Paul. Can you suggest some suppliers other than Inventory Source? So there are two types of suppliers we use for our marketplace dropshipping. The first kind are suppliers that are retail suppliers. So when we're dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace, this is what we use. We use retail suppliers. These include like Walmart.com, HomeDepot.com, Amazon.com. So we just find items on those websites, do some product research, list them up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Then when they sell, we just buy them from like Walmart or Home Depot or Amazon and get them shipped directly to our customers. That's retail. It's the simplest way and the easiest way, I think it's fair to say. The other side of this is wholesale suppliers. With wholesale suppliers, you actually have to contact wholesale suppliers and tell them you want to do dropshipping, see if they have a dropshipping program, and actually get an account with them. And then you can list their items up for sale. Once they sell, again, same thing, buy from the wholesale supplier who will then ship it to your customer. So it's a little bit of extra work because you need to form that relationship, and that normally requires you to form a business. So it's a little bit more difficult. I think ultimately it's more worth it because you're building more of a legitimate business. You're building up those relationships. It's totally allowed on eBay and on Facebook Marketplace. Retail dropshipping is allowed on Facebook Marketplace as well. But it is definitely allowed on eBay as well. So we have the wholesale, we have the retail, two different kinds. With retail dropshipping, just kind of circle back to your question. With retail dropshipping, you can use any retail website. Okay? If you're using a software, then make sure it works with that software. AutoDS has a bunch of retail websites they work with, okay, including Home Depot, Amazon, Walmart, places like that. If you're going with a wholesale supplier, you actually have to go out and find the wholesale suppliers yourself. Now, one suggestion, which is kind of alluded to in this question, is that if you sign up for an account with Inventorysourcecom, they actually are kind of like a catalog of a whole bunch of wholesale suppliers. Now, not all of them do dropshipping, but it is a good place to start looking. So if you're new to the world of wholesale dropshipping, get an Inventory Source account. It's free just to get an account, and then you can kind of browse through their category and contact some of those suppliers to work with them. Now, other than that, I'm not going to tell you specifically what wholesale suppliers I've worked with, because that kind of gives away some of the secret sauce, right? I don't want to reveal who my suppliers are, because then it's very easy for someone to say, oh, it's working for Paul. Then we're going to have like dozens of people going in, working with the same supplier, and then it kind of gets more saturated and doesn't work as well. So part of the work for you as a wholesale dropshipper is to find the wholesale suppliers that will work with you and that have good products, and finding kind of those golden nuggets in there. Okay. Okay, so I am new. I'm using AutoDS. They have an API version and a non-API version. The non-API version isn't working for him, and they're trying to get him to use the API version. My recommendation is still don't use API versions of software for eBay. There's some debate there. So when you're using the software, there's different ways that it can work. It can connect up with eBay. It can use API or non-API, basically. API, if you use it, eBay's going to know that you use it. If you're comfortable with that, you can do that. My recommendation is you don't, because eBay finds out they can penalize you for it. They've done that in the past. It seems like they've stopped doing that, but for me, it's not worth the risk. Okay, so I'm not going to use an API version of AutoDS or any software for that matter. I use non-API versions. I don't know if the non-API version isn't working, because we have like a different way of working with it that I teach my students. But if that is the case, then I would find a workaround like I teach my students how to do inside my course, or just use the API version if you're comfortable with that. But there's always a risk there. Always a risk. Is it possible to dropship as a 16-year-old? Yeah, I mean, it is, Shay. The problem is that you can't technically have an eBay account. I'm not sure about Facebook Marketplace, honestly, but I know you probably can't, because you got to connect up like your financial information. So that's going to be kind of the hiccup for you. So you would have to do it under a parent's name until you turn 18, and then can transfer it into your name. Jacob says, should I start cross-posting my listings on Mercari and Poshmark? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what items you're talking about. If you're doing drop shipping, I don't, excuse me. I don't see much value. I may have looked at Mercari and Poshmark for drop shipping. I don't see it really as a viable place to drop ship personally. I know people that do drop ship on Mercari and say it's great, but I think Poshmark is, in my opinion, definitely a bust. But you can give it a shot at Mercari. I've personally never done that myself. All right, congrats, Nathan. Says, I'm just getting started. Thanks for the content thus far. Got approved for a Facebook shop and setup. What steps should I take moving forward before listing? Yeah, man, just make sure you have everything set up, and then move slowly into it, even with Facebook shops. Don't go listing a ton of items all at once. And the most important thing here is get down the product research, Nathan. Really learn how product research works, which items are going to be the best ones to list up. What else? Yeah, I mean, you got to get that product research down. You get the right products in your shop, you're going to have a much better chance of success. All right. I hate Amazon and Shopify. They suspended my account permanently, won't let me back. You have to contact them to figure out why. I'm not sure. Amazon accounts you can pretty much always get back. If Amazon selling accounts, I'm not too familiar with Shopify. I don't know why Shopify would ban you. That's very hard to do because you kind of set your own rules. So I'm kind of surprised Shopify has banned you. Can you also make money with the stock market? Yeah, of course you can. You could also lose a lot of money with the stock market. I don't do a lot of stock investing. Most of my investments are just going to index funds, and that's pretty much all I do in the stock market. I do have some stocks that I own, but not very much of them. And then I'm involved in crypto as well, and that portfolio is growing more and more as time goes on. I'm much more interested in that than I am in the stock market. If you get into stocks, you really have to, and you're going to buy individual stocks, you really got to dive in and learn really do research on the companies you're investing in. And that involves things like reading their reports, attending their meetings, their shareholder meetings, and really getting a sense for how they work. And I never really understood it. I never really put the time in to understand it, to be honest. But I get index funds and I get crypto to an extent. So that's what I feel comfortable investing in. Is dropshipping a scalable business, and is it a good side hustle? Yeah, for sure. So, sorry, like I said, I'm just getting over a sickness. Yeah, so it is, I think, one of the best side hustles you can have because it is so, again, simple to get started. You don't need to go out and invest a lot of time and money so that you can kind of do this in your own time, right? You can do this from home, from your computer, your laptop, anywhere you have an internet connection. So you don't have to be tied down to one location in order to get this business off its feet and then to run the business. And then what makes it really cool is that because it is totally digital and online, you can hire help. You can hire virtual assistants from like the Philippines who can run your business for you or help you run your business. So you spend less time running your business and can just continue to reap the benefits from it, the profit from it. So I think because of that is a great side hustle. You know, if you're stuck at home, if you're a stay-at-home parent, you travel a lot, you're going to be able to do this as a side hustle on the side for sure. Sweet. Bailey says, I'm starting your eBay class tonight. Awesome. Let's see. All right. 6 Hennie says, Facebook has approved my documents for shops, but it still says documents in review and my items still don't show up on Marketplace. So a couple of things. I don't know when that happened, but I would wait. Sometimes it's just a matter of it clearing out of the system for them. So I would give it time to wait. And also, just because you have a shop doesn't mean you've been approved from Marketplace. So you have to request approval specifically for your items in your shop to be pushed to Marketplace and then wait for that approval to happen as well. So that is a multi-step process. So it is more work to sell it with shops. It's worth it if you can get it to work. Otherwise, you can just sell directly on Facebook Marketplace without shops. Would you recommend doubling the price of a product? I'm not sure what the context is for that. So maybe give me more context to that. All right. US Man says, what is the best source like Walmart or Amazon for doing marketplace drop shipping? And what kind of product can we list on Marketplace? So I think you mean Facebook Marketplace. I think right now the best place to drop ship from for Facebook Marketplace is Walmart. Amazon was giving us some trouble. It's been up and down kind of with them. As a supplier, they've worked really well in the past. They stopped working so well. They've gotten better. It's kind of been up and down with them. So the easier thing is just Walmart. Just stick with Walmart. They have so many products. They have great customer service. They ship out items quickly. It is a really, really good supplier to use. So that's the one I would start with. Solid right there. Are you from Long Island? I saw one of your videos searching for Walmart. I used to live on Long Island, so that video is probably from when I was out there. But I don't live there anymore. I live in Colorado. Hey, what's up? Glad that you're here, man. Okay, Pell says, I'm getting more and more orders from California, so I want to apply for a California sales tax certificate, and it looks pretty confusing. Yep. So California is one of those states with like a ton of regulation and just bureaucracy and paperwork. So yeah, so what Pell's talking about here is when you're selling products online, you're going to get orders from customers in different states. So you can actually become sales tax exempt, which means that when you buy the item from your supplier, you don't have to pay any sales tax. You see, sales tax only has to be paid by the end consumer. So if someone buys the item from you in California, or it doesn't matter where they buy it from, but then you buy it from like Walmart, normally Walmart will charge you sales tax for that item. But technically, you don't have to pay sales tax in that situation because you are not the end consumer. Your customer in California or wherever it is the end consumer, not you. So the way you get out of paying sales tax in that scenario is by becoming sales tax exempt, which basically proves to Walmart that you are not the end consumer. That's a simple way of putting it. So you have to actually get registered with different states in order to do that. And some states are easier than others, like California is difficult. I don't remember off the top of my head, Pell, how I did that, what the process was like, but I did figure it out. So, play around on their website, poke around, look around. I could take another look. What I did, you could always send me a DM on Instagram at Paul J Lipsky or email me, paul@pauljlipsky.com. And if I can look and quickly find out how I did it, I'll let you know. But off the top of my head, I just don't remember. But generally, when you become sales tax exempt, you'll be sales tax exempt in multiple states, but there will be a handful that you're not, including California. So that's why it's extra step there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to okay, Daniel says, hey, Facebook account restrictions are quite common actually. Most of the time is easily fixed by contacting Facebook support. Do you mean like the way he worded it made it sound like it was like something permanent, like he was permanently banned from Facebook? I've heard a lot of people getting notified that there's been some sort of like security problem with their Facebook account. They get locked out and then they contact Facebook and then they're back up and running. But I can't find the prior comment, but he made it sound like he was just permanently out, like he did something wrong with his account. Yeah, but guys, check out this YouTube channel, Daniel Sells Online. If you're interested in dropshipping, making money online, Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, he has a ton of content over there as well. So you should definitely check out his channel. And you know what, guys? Normally we go for about an hour with this. I'm going to cut it short today. I already feel my voice. I'm losing it. It's getting hard for me to talk. Still getting over this sickness. It's been like 2 weeks. It's been absolutely crazy. So I'm going to cut the stream here for today. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I do these every Tuesday around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to join me for the next live stream with any questions that you guys have. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.